Hello, just a short video from my recently acquired BMW i3. I just thought I'd get a little chat. I did one yesterday. I got a few more details about the car. Well, as I'm sitting there, you can feel what I'm feeling about the ride. Nice day today, nice and sunny. So here we go. Nice smooth road. I mean, the BMW i3s seem to be built for smooth roads. Unfortunately, we haven't got smooth roads. But smooth roads, it's a nice car, nice and quiet. Everything's quiet and smooth, and the road holding is good. The handling's good, as long as the road's smooth. So perhaps it wasn't really made for the UK. Maybe it's made for the German Autobahn, I don't know. Or just to go around town. But it's a lot of money to spend on a car just to drive around town. So anyway, I'm just going to little poodle along here, and well, you can hear what I can hear as far as noise is concerned. But it's pretty quiet because the road's good, and all is well. In the news today, we've had this thing about climate change's meeting, where all the dignitaries from around the world have flown in on their big jets to talk about pollution, to tell the little people, that they should be doing more to stop climate change. As Biden comes in and brings in his flies his entourage in, and his big vehicle in, his big gas guzzler, to tell us how we should be saving the world. Which, I mean, I'm all for saving the world. I mean, well, as you can tell, I'm driving an electric car, and this is my third electric car. I love electric cars. I love the way they drive anyway. Even without the pollution aspect, they drive really nice. So there they all are, telling us what we should be doing. And halfway through the agenda, Boris thinks, I want to go back to London, because this was done in Edinburgh, about 400 miles away from London. So how is he going to get back to London? He gets on a plane just to fly the 400 miles back to London, because it's so important that he had to get back so quick, because the world would end without old Boris, without bumbling Boris. So anyway, so he flies back, and this is just trying to show us, just wants to show the people that don't do what I do, do as I say. So that's what he did. There's Prince Charles there, with his castles and mansions and Buckingham Palace, telling everyone else to be greener. Yep. Hypocrisy is huge. He says things like his Aston Martin has been converted to run on wine. Really? And Buckingham Palace has got a eco heating system. I tell you what, Charles, it's not as eco as not having Buckingham Palace, is it? Now that would be eco, wouldn't it? Not having Buckingham Palace, not having 50 bedrooms or whatever it's got. That would be eco, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it, Charles? Yeah, it's all that old crap. So, good intentions, but told to the lowly folk like you and me what we should be doing, how we should be saving the world, while they can fly around polluting everywhere, big cars, big mansions, but you've got to save the world. What else on news? There's not a lot of news about, really. Oh, well, yeah, France is annoyed with the UK, and the UK is annoyed with France, and we've got, in the UK, and we've got no power because we voted it away. We voted our power away in 2016. We voted to be weak. So we're weak. UK is weak. Because because we're on our own. And we chose it. We chose to be weak and poor. Bit odd, isn't it? Why would you choose to be weak and poor? But if you talk to a Brexiter and they say, oh yes, we've got sovereignty, and you say, what is sovereignty to you? And they never answer. They don't know what sovereignty is. What is sovereignty? I mean, people, these Brexiters call me a traitor. But surely voting for your country to be in a worse position, which is exactly what has happened, and exactly what's obvious was going to happen, isn't that being a traitor? You think so, wouldn't you? If you vote to put your country in a bad position, surely that's being a traitor. What a lovely day. Yeah, so I mean, it goes on and on. I sort of say my bit, and they say their bit, and their bit's always, mind you, I'm a bit biased because obviously I'm going to agree with me, aren't I? But when you see there's a shortage, Brexiters will say there's not a shortage, even though you can see it. They still say it's not there. Do you remember the film? Here's an example: Monty Python. The Monty Python film where the knights are fighting, the Holy Grail, and the hero knight, played by is it Terry Gilliam? Anyway, he's fighting the Black Knight, and the Black Knight gets his arm lopped off, and the hero knight sort of backs down and says, okay, go on your way type stuff. And he says, no, I want to carry on fighting. So, and then then his other arm's lopped off. And he still wants to fight. He starts batting the hero knight. And then his leg's lopped off. And he still wants to fight. And then his other leg's lopped off. And he still wants to fight. All he is a torso, and that's it, shouting and screaming, can't move. That is a Brexiter. Someone in such a weak position, still wanting to get his own way, still thinking he's able and superior and can fight the fight, when he's just thrown it away. But actually Brexiters are worse than that Black Knight, because Brexiters actually chose to throw their life away. But not only have they chose to throw their life away, they chose to throw my life away. And they chose to throw my grandchildren's life away. They've stopped their freedom of movement. They've stopped their freedom of education. They've actually stopped freedom of information being exchanged between UK and the rest of Europe, thus making us more in danger of terrorism. Can't whack it, can you? Can't whack it. I'm not doing much car stuff, am I? But anyway, you can feel how the car feels anyway, because it's all right. It is all right. I mean, previous video I was slagging it off a bit because I was comparing it with a Tesla, and that's like chalk and cheese. Tesla is so far ahead. I mean, this car actually feels, because this car was designed in 2014, hasn't really changed much. Battery's got a bit bigger. This has got the Rex, Rex is a really good thing. No range anxiety. Next, extra 80 miles on the Rex petrol engine, which is just a generator, doesn't drive the wheels. Suits me, because this car drives like a proper electric car. And it's not just the 80 miles, of course, because if this runs out of petrol, you just stick some in, because there's a lot of petrol stations. Even though it's only got 2 gallons, it's another 80 miles, isn't it? And petrol stations are obviously plentiful. Electric charging points, but this is a UK thing, not so good. And it will get worse as there's more and more electric cars on the road. And I don't appear like I'm anti-electric car, because I've said before, I love electric cars. But we're going to get unstuck because the UK aren't into infrastructure. Because even if we build and it's no good building a 3 kilowatt charger, which is like mains, just plug it into the mains, or a 7 kilowatt charger. That's fine for at home because you charge it, go to sleep, go to bed. But it's no good on the journey. So it's got to be about 50 kilowatts minimum on a journey. And Britain don't do infrastructure. If they do build a charging station, they won't maintain it. And then people would go there with a low state of charge, and there'd be a charger that's not working. And we don't have lots and lots of chargers in one place. It's not like Tesla where they've got a bank of 20 chargers. We'll have 1 or 2. And of course, if one goes out, the other one will be even busier, so you'll be queuing up. But you've got no choice. And what is more disastrous, if you stop and you've got a low state of charge left, and you stop at the charger to charge up and it doesn't work, you're actually in dire straits. But it's a bit of news. Apparently Tesla, obviously the problem doesn't exist with Tesla because they've got superchargers and they maintain them, and they don't have 1 or 2, they have a dozen superchargers available. They're in a different league, so they are completely different level to other electric cars. I mean, what's the point in paying £80,000 for a Jaguar I-Pace and there's nowhere to plug it in? So anyway, news is Tesla in Holland are going to, I think I've actually done it. They're making their superchargers available for all electric cars, all EVs, which is nice. A bit crazy for Tesla, but nice. Because that was Tesla's big deal. That was the reason people buy Teslas, because it balances the scales. The supercharging network is why a lot of people buy Teslas, besides the fact the car's better anyway. But of course, it's great. You want a supercharger network. So now in Holland, Tesla says all cars can use, at a cost, Tesla superchargers in Holland. Now this is very puzzling to me because they'll put people off Tesla, because that's the big advantage gone. Because those charging stations will no longer be, well, I've seen them on Tesla pulls out. There's loads of spare ones, no problem at all, no sweat. There's no sweat charging up your Tesla, but there will be a sweat charging up your Tesla if everyone and their cat can go in and charge their electric car. Those chargers will be full because those chargers will work. So people will make a beeline for those chargers and they will be busy. And people with their Tesla think, what the hell? My charger, and it's this fair way of saying it, is really, my charger is being used by somebody else. And they've got a point, because they brought Tesla on the presumption that the supercharger will be their charger, them as a Tesla owner. So they've got a point being a bit aggrieved. What's that bloke doing in his Zoe? What's that bloke doing in his Leaf using my charger? It's a point. It's a point. So, I don't know why Tesla have done this. I mean, it's a good publicity stunt because it makes them look really good and friendly, but if it makes them lose sales, which I'm sure it will, because you could lease a car, say a Kona or something, for half the price of a Tesla, and you're still inclined to go towards the Tesla because, well, it's a better car, and the fact they've got a supercharging network. But if you use the supercharging network in your Kona, well, maybe you get Kona instead. So that's a bit of a strange one. I mean, I've put in the vlogs here and there, and I said, people say, oh, this lovely Kia, this lovely, I mean, they are nice. South Korean cars are really good. My wife had one. They're really good cars, reliable, well built. but they have no supercharging network. And I always put that down when people say, oh, is this, and it's got this phrase, is this the Tesla killer? Well, no, it's not, because it hasn't got a supercharging network. But if Tesla gives away their supercharging network, well, there you go. Why, oh why? Why, oh why? I mean, why, oh why? More to the point, why isn't there Hyundai and Kia are the same company? Where's their supercharging network? I said this to a Kia fan, and I said, oh, he had a Hyundai Kona. And I said, where's Hyundai's supercharging network? And he's quite rude back to me. And I was quite serious. Where is Hyundai's supercharging network? Where is Ford's supercharging network? Where is Jaguar's supercharging network? I can go on and on. Well, there isn't one, is there? I mean, blimey. If Volkswagen, the Volkswagen Group, which includes Audi and Seat, if they can't knock together a supercharging network when Tesla can, and they're not even car makers until 10 years ago, what's it all about? So I say Tesla shouldn't be handing out their supercharging network. The other companies should be building their own supercharging network just for their Jaguars, just for their Fords, just for them, well, you know, just go on and on. Yeah, so there you go. I mean, it's no good waiting for governments to do things, to build a charging network. I mean, Boris wants to build choo-choo trains, spending billions on choo-choo trains, you know, which is old technology anyway, because they run on tracks, and that is old tech. We're going to spend billions on old tech. And there's Elon Musk making there was a siren come from somewhere. Yeah, there's Elon Musk building hyperlinks. Incredible technology. Trains go hundreds of miles an hour underground through tubes. Ideal for the UK, because the UK is small. But nope, we're going to stick to the old choo-choo trains on the choo-choo rails, and, oh well, because that's the way it is, and the lights are turned red. Yeah. So, that's it. How do you feel about the ride? It's just not bad, is it? It's quite comfy. I mean, I suppose I don't notice the bumpy ride so much when I'm talking to you. So maybe I should just talk to you all the time while I'm driving. It makes the ride nicer. I should really, should I turn the camera around, or I can't really turn the camera around? There's someone going along. It's quite sad. He's in a disabled person's, on the main road he's going, vehicle. So wobbly. The track is so narrow. Absolute death trap on the main road. Is so sad. So sad. Yeah. Anyway, price of petrol, £1.49.9 per litre in the UK right now. Anyone, if anyone's listening to this outside the UK, that's the price we are paying for petrol. That's the diesel price, £1.49.9 per litre. What's that? About £6.50 a gallon. Goodness me! No wonder they don't put gallons on the old on the prices. We're keen to use metric when it comes to that, because it's a frighteningly awful amount, frighteningly expensive. £100 to fill your tank. That's bonkers, isn't it? Do you know how much it costs to fill this tank? Well, at home, about £3. Yeah, actually saying that, I'm exaggerating a bit. It's not £3, it's £2. It costs £2 to fill this with electricity at night time. £2. £2 gets me 100 miles. Yeah. Jaguar I-Pace. I mean, I mentioned Jaguar I-Pace because they are amazingly inefficient cars. The Tesla, which of course class its own, can do up to 5 miles per kilowatt hour. This will probably do about 4 miles per kilowatt hour, because even though this is small, it's not so efficient. Jaguar I-Pace, you're lucky to get 3 miles per kilowatt hour because it's amazingly inefficient. So on a Jaguar I-Pace, you only get about 200 miles on a full charge of a big battery. So all in all, I'm rambling on here. I don't quite know what. I've lost my drift. Jaguar I-Pace uses a lot of power, but it's still cheap, of course, because you charge it at home. Always got to charge at home. Remember to charge at home. Whatever you do, don't charge on the road, especially in the UK, because you never know. This is why I've got this car. The only reason I got this car is because it's got a Rex, because I can't afford a longer range car. It's either got to be a Tesla, because it's got a supercharging network, or, well, this is the only choice, or this. I mean, that's the reason I got rid of the Tesla I'll get rid of the Tesla in a week's time, is because I can't afford it. So I've got this, which has got only about 100-mile electric range, which is pretty poor, but it's got 80-mile petrol range, which isn't a lot, but it doesn't matter, because obviously you just pop into a petrol station and pop in a couple more gallons and off you go again. I don't want range anxiety. I am too old for that. I don't want any hassle. I enjoy this ride. I'm actually quite enjoying this ride. Yeah, in my previous video, I slagged this car off a bit, but you know what? I probably will get used to it. And like I said in my previous video, I put lots of sound insulation in the footwells at the front, because the noise is coming from the front. You can't hear electric motor at all. It's tucked around to the floor. And even the Rex is, well, you won't be able to hear it. It is, because I can only just hear it. So, it's probably a car I'll probably end up having this for a long time, and it probably will grow on me, and I probably will regret saying nasty things about it. But it'd be easier to say nice things about this when the Tesla's gone, because I won't have that odious comparison of this car compared with a Tesla supercar, which is better every month because it keeps updating itself. That Tesla is a better car now, 2 years on, than it was when I got it, because it's been updating itself regularly. Absolutely fantastic. What other car does that? None. So I'll say this to you. The keypad, there's a keypad on the, perhaps I'll take a picture of it. There's a keypad on the dashboard of this car, which you can dedicate things. It's like fast keys. And one thing that's quite nifty is you can turn on the range extender if you've got less than 75% of electricity in your battery left, and it will hold the charge. Quite handy, because you can do that, say on the motorway, and you go into town where they've got restrictions on pollution, all that stuff, and you can just, well, you'll be pollution free in town because you just be on battery and that's it. And I'll show you something. Well, I can't show you. I'll explain it to you. I might take some pictures. On this keypad I mentioned, I'm going to press number 3. Up comes hold state of charge, because I've programmed key number 3 for that event, and up comes hold state of charge and a little tiny empty box, and I just press the button in the middle of the car, the big rotary button, and on it comes. Now, listening carefully, the range extender has started. Right, now it's a smooth road this, so I should be able to hear the range extender, because there's no road noise. Now I can just about hear it, but you probably won't be able to hear it. It's that quiet. So in a lot of ways, this is an electric car with no downside. And to my amazement and confusion, BMW have done away with the range extender, which is the bit which makes this car stand out from any other EV, any other hybrid. It stands out because other hybrids, the petrol engine. Can you hear it? The petrol engine drives the wheels. Don't want that, because it's got a gearbox as well, automatic gearbox. Don't want any of that rubbish. So this is a complete, perfect electric car with a backup plan, as it's known, which is the petrol engine, which keeps the battery charged up. Who could ask for more? So BMW discontinued it. Well done. Can you hear that motor? No, I bet you can't now. Yeah, it's pretty nice and quiet. So I could drive this to Scotland. I'm in London at the moment. I could drive this to Scotland without having to charge it. That's rather nice, isn't it? And then there'll be no fears. That's the thing, is fears. And in Britain, it's not so much the fear of range anxiety. Well, of course, it all connects up. It's the fear that your charger you're going to aim for isn't going to be working. And some folk might say, yes, if you've got the app, and the app tells you if it's working or not. Alas, not. Those apps aren't that accurate. You could go there and the charger's not working, and you'll be absolutely stuffed. Yep, the range extender's running. Yeah, I guess you can't hear it. Okie dokie. I shall sign off now, because I'm getting nearish home, and I shall speak to you again. Righty ho, see you later. Bye bye.